Michael goes up the stairs first, don't forget. Across the stage. Watch the trees, watch the trees. You have to get some lighter flags next year, I think. It'll be okay. Drink some water.
Last year was just the class.
Going up there. I don't know where we're going, Dennis.
The second one? Yeah, we had it in the auditorium. We had 220 graduates. I think we were only allowed to bring one person. It was different.
Yeah, well, the auditorium was about 75, so that's
Yeah, we were just picking it up as we go along.
yeah.
Oh, well, good luck to you. Enjoy yourselves.
John, you're up front and center. You're the leader, John.
and remain standing as members of our chamber choir sing our national anthem, followed by the invocation given by Holy Cross alum, Monsignor Thomas Ginty, class of 76.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. The scriptures tell us time and time again that faith in God can move mountains, and that faith can be a powerful tool against the tragedies that unfortunately often occur in life. In the midst of these life tragedies, the loss of a job, the death or the illness of a loved one, wars, racial unrest, mass shootings, and the war in Ukraine, faith is all that many times sustains us. Faith is what gives us hope. Faith is the shoulder that we lean on, and in some cases, faith may be the only thing that we have. These are unprecedented times, and the darkness of the moment and the fear of the unknown have left all of us a little weary of what could happen next in the world in which we live. But it also has brought about us together and has strengthened our determination to survive, to make the world a better place in the future. It will not be easy, but true trust in God is never easy. But it strengthens our character, empowers us to be missionary disciples, and to never give in to despair. Today, as you contemplate where you have been and what you have learned and the friends that you have made in the past 4 years, rejoice, for your future will be bright. Never underestimate the goodness that is within you, and challenge that we give you today is to share that goodness with others. Do all that you can through your many God-given talents to make this world a better place. Feed the hungry. Give thirst to those who are thirsty. Clothe the naked. Do all that you can to make the world a better place. This is our prayer for you. This is our hope for you. And whatever you choose to do in life, you may be men and women of faith.
Thank you, Monsignor. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Kevin McSherry, class of 75, the chair of the Holy Cross High School Board of Directors, to give his welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Seller. She's done a tremendous job in organizing all this, and I believe I was enjoying her orders inside, so that's how I got down here, so I figured it out. So congratulations, graduates, on getting here. Monsignor Ginty, Dr. Pellegrino, Mr. Pompey, family and friends of the graduates, the class of 1973, faculty and staff that are here, and graduates. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Holy Cross High School, I welcome you here this morning to your graduation of the class of 2023. It was about 5 years ago that many of you arrived at open houses here at Holy Cross, or one of the many Mrs. Park's events that you attend as part of becoming a class at Holy Cross High School. And that's when I met many of you. And Holy Cross at that point was into a transition of hiring Dr. Pellegrino as our next president. He in turn hired Mr. Pompey, and many things were changing in the school. But the biggest thing that was changing was something this class brought with them: their positivity and their optimism. and I congratulate you for that, because I've been able to witness it either in the theater, at sporting events, just walking the halls. So it's a great congratulations to you for the positiveness that you have brought to the school and the energy. We can't forget our faculty who carried the ball through that transition, and I think they deserve a nice round of applause for the faculty. There, of course, is the administrative staff who also carried the ball, and they deserve a round of applause as well. And I walked the halls of Holy Cross with the class of 1973 as a sophomore when they were seniors. I thank them for not picking on me, beating me up, or doing anything really bad to me. But they were all together in mass, and thank you for coming here this morning, the class of 1973. I started a tradition several years ago when our board members who had been serving as volunteers and doing great things for the board were now retiring. Our first member of the board is not here this morning, Dr. Phil Mangaluso, who many of you know as our great soccer coach for the girls team, who have done a fantastic things over the last several years. Dr. Phil led our advancement committee and really transformed our advancement committee into something special, and he's done a great job with that. But Phil is not here this morning, but a nice round of applause for Phil. As chair of the board, I get to attend a meeting with all the other chairs of Holy Cross schools across the country and across the world. And one of the persons that's most important to them is the finance person, the person in charge of the finance committee. Our finance committee member and chair is leaving us this year and has done a fantastic job in helping the school be in a strong financial position, and that's Bernie Zazinski, right over here. Bernie. Bernie always reminds us in a good financial way is to be prepared for, there are going to be bad times, but enjoy the good times as much as you can. And the last member is a guy who I have known for a long time. He's one of the funniest people I know, and one of the kindest people I know, and he's done great things for Holy Cross High School, not just for this class, but every single class that's come through the doors since he became a priest and then a Monsignor. He's here this morning, of course, and he'll be rotating off the board, and with his free time, he'll just be taking up probably 3 or 4 more parishes, and that's my good friend, Monsignor Ginty. And the last thing I want to say is the class of 2023. You have been an awesome class. You have carried positivity forward. You've dealt with loss, you've handled it greatly, and I have been honored to be part of watching you guys go through. So congratulations and have a great day.
Thank you, Kevin. It is the custom of Holy Cross that the main student address is not the salutatory or the valedictorian, but one prepared voluntarily and chosen among all those who would like to try for the privilege. However, the salutatory or opening greeting at all graduation ceremonies is traditionally given by the member of the graduating class who has achieved the second highest academic average. This year's salutatorian of the class of 2023, who will attend the University of Notre Dame, is Jenna Tracy.
Dr. Pellegrino, Mr. Pompey, Ms. Zeller, Board of Directors, faculty and staff, parents, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. Welcome to the Holy Cross High School Class of 2023 graduation ceremony. It is my utmost honor to welcome you all to share in this accomplishment. In the past 4 years, we have experienced countless successes which have led us to this day. Together, we've won 15 NVL titles and 5 state championships. We've starred in 6 theater productions and 14 arts performances. We have started more than a dozen new clubs while excelling in the classroom, and arguably the most important achievement, we have served hundreds of residents within our local community. In welcoming you all and reminding you of the successes we've shared and the knowledge we have garnered, I want to leave you with a brief thought. Since we were children, we have repeatedly been asked the burning question, what do you want to be when you grow up? For me, my response always varied. Sometimes it was a doctor, other times a lawyer, and at one point, even a bus driver. From my experience in high school, however, I recognized an adjustment that needed to be made to that question. It was no longer what I wanted to be, but more importantly, who I wanted to be. I've been a salutatorian, a captain, a club president, and plenty of other seemingly insubstantial titles. I say insubstantial because who we are under those titles is much more than what we are. At the end of the day, we tend to get lost in all those numbers on report cards or the salaries we see listed for our majors. But those grades, those titles, and those accolades can only reflect so much of the people we truly are. Instead, remember that our successes should be measured in how much we have grown, the people we've helped along the way, our failures, the friends we were, the effort we gave, and the kindness we showed, rather than just grade point averages or class ranks. So, when we walk across this stage in the coming moments, recall who you were in high school, who you want to be in college, and furthermore, who you want to be in life, and focus less on what you were. This is a blank slate and the world is your horizon. I wish you all the very best, and congratulations. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Jenna. As mentioned before, the main student address is prepared voluntarily and chosen from among all those who would like to try for the privilege. This year's address will be given by Sergio Gary, who will attend the University of St. Joseph in the fall. Sergio, you have the floor.
Oh boy. Thank you, Ms. Zeller, for that wonderful introduction. I just want to say, because there is a lot of ongoing debate about this topic in schools and education, shout out to AI for writing the speech for me. It's amazing how far all this stuff has come and the leaps in technology that have been made up to this point. I'm just kidding, of course. With that, good morning, Crusaders, family, friends, faculty, and a very special good morning to the Holy Cross graduating class of 2023. My name is Sergio Garay Guzman, and it is my honor to be addressing you all. It's been about 2 weeks since our last day as seniors, and I cannot express how grateful I am to be a part of this graduating class and how excited I am not only for my future, but for the futures of all the graduates with me here today. These last 4 years did not go by in a flash. In fact, they were real long and real wild for parents, faculty, and students alike. And I mean real wild. Though, by no means were they bad. Standing at this podium, I feel the same excitement and naive innocence that I did as a freshman. Instead now, like many of you, I'm looking towards college and life as an adult. Originally, I did not want to come to Holy Cross. Being from Torrington, I wanted to stay where I was comfortable. I did not want a dress code. I didn't want to drive 20 minutes to school. And I most definitely did not want to make new friends. My brother was already a student here, though. And naturally, my mother encouraged me to undergo the application process. And upon being accepted, I attended some of the incoming student events. And I've got to applaud Mrs. Parks because even with an apprehensive attitude towards a new school, at those few events I did attend, I felt so very welcomed that I easily connected with so many incoming students. Holy Cross really is different where it counts, and I was sold. When I first walked these halls 4 years ago, I was a totally different person. I was shy, I kept to myself, and I was a straight A student. At this school, I discovered a medium in which I could grow, not only academically, but socially. And though you may not believe it, I was the kind of person that kept my head down when I walked, and when greeted, I wouldn't know what to say. I froze. a new problem. I can't stop talking. Coming to Holy Cross, I had the opportunity to challenge what I was comfortable with, become involved, and take little steps towards growth. When our guidance counselors told us to try new things, it was more than experience to put on a college resume. It was that extra step towards educating our hearts and minds. At the end of our freshman year, our whole perception of school and life was turned upside down and thrown out the window. What was supposed to be a short break turned to a seemingly infinite, 2-year-plus battle of rewriting the script. Nobody knew what was going on, and we watched from home as the world shut down in a matter of weeks. And this time, it was almost second nature to hear words like unprecedented, trying, or uncertain. For some reason, nobody could purchase toilet paper, TikTok was going crazy, and we were in the midst of a global crisis. We as students have had such a unique experience, which our kids will be learning about in school. In fact, we can now tell tall tales like our parents and grandparents before us about what we had to endure to go to school. Instead of walking 20 miles through freezing rain or scaling mammoth mountains, we had to persist through a global pandemic. Every high school class has a different experience exclusive to themselves, though. We as a class and a generation have withstood such a volatile 2 years that showcased a resilience and diligence that we carry with us for all our years to come. Our sophomore year was spent mostly online, and boy, was it nice at first. I remember sleeping in, and boom, within 2 minutes, I'm in class, polo and PJs, baby. And even after being away virtually, when we came back to school, we were still online through DLCs and assigned seating. Never had I ever longed for a traditional school experience so much more before. Junior year was almost normal. We had the pleasure of welcoming so many new students from Sacred Heart and Chase. School's getting back to normal again. At this point, I just had to recover from the year-long hiatus my grades took over quarantine. As juniors, we watched as the seniors came and went, and now it's our turn. Senior year was the exception to the long high school experience, as it flew by. We had the pleasure of returning to school without masks, but with an updated dress code. Though, I'm not gonna say I hated looking dapper in my shirt and tie. And now, here we are at the end, flash forward to the last few weeks of school, and I'm writing a graduation speech, looking up things like how to write a speech, and crunching in lines moments before the deadline. But I got it done, and now you're listening to it. As a class, we experience a lot of lasts together. And unfortunately for the audience, this will be the last time I address you all. These past 4 years of high school, we did not know what to expect, but we came out on top. And now we are ready for what is to come. High school cannot last forever, and a part of me is glad that it's over. Another part of me is gonna miss coming in late some mornings and being greeted by the wonderful young ladies in the main office. Shout out Mrs. O, and shout out Miss Belden. I wanted to close this speech with a line from the film Dazed and Confused. It reads, "The older you do get, the more rules they're gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N. Thank you, McConaughey, for that one. Make your own rules, Crusaders, and keep living. To every person seated here today, I wish you the best of luck on whatever path your future takes you. The Holy Cross graduating class of 2023 will do great things. Thank you."
Great job, Sergio. I will now turn things over to Dr. Pellegrino, President of Holy Cross High School, for his congratulatory address.
Class of 23, you are nothing if not nimble. Good morning and greetings, everyone. I'll be quick. It is a tradition when the president begins remarks to offer a series of greetings, and it is a tradition that the first greeting I offer is to give to the chairperson of the Holy Cross Board of Directors. I have had this distinct privilege to greet, and more importantly, to work with our board chair, Kevin McSherry, of the class of 1975, for 4 years now. This will unfortunately be the last greeting I extend to Kevin, as he is concluding his term as chair After 15 years of dedicated service on our board, many seniors I know will recognize Mr. McSherry because he made it a point to be at almost every one of your games, plays, musicals, award nights, and he's of course with us today. Kevin has been an exceptional steward for Holy Cross High School, an invaluable partner and friend to me. Please join me in extending a Holy Cross greeting and a thank you. Other greetings as well to the members of the Board of Directors with us today, especially those whose children are graduating today. Greetings to Monsignor Thomas Ginty of the class of 76, along with a heartfelt note of thanks and appreciation to you and to Archbishop Cronin for a memorable, wonderful baccalaureate mass yesterday. Thank you. To our principal, Thomas Pompey, our assistant principal, Catherine Zeller, our amazing faculty and staff. To Ms. Eileen Regan, everyone from Sacred Heart High School, everyone from Chase Collegiate with us today, to our Holy Cross alums, and in a very special way to the members of the class of 1973 and their families celebrating their 50th reunion. Welcome back to Holy Cross High School. Now, most importantly, greetings, congratulations to the members of my favorite class, the class of 2023. I don't typically use props when I give speeches, but I've been holding on to this one for a little over 2 years now. If you can't see this in the back, I am holding a digital thermometer. The way this works, don't worry, Monsignor, it's not that type of thermometer. The way this works is you hold it up to a person's forehead, and it gives you a digital readout of the person's temperature. We all remember these. During the class of 23's sophomore year, we enacted, as did many schools, a series of COVID-19 protocols. Nate DiMatteo referred with great affection to the DLCs. Another protocol that sophomore year was to have each class enter the building through a separate entrance here at the school. Each entrance would be manned by an employee who would take the temperature of the student to check for fever. It was an odd and uncertain time, and we employed some equally odd and uncertain strategies to do our best to take care of our students. We reminded ourselves that in those pandemic years, the gift each parent gave us was even more precious than before. Because it was my idea to enact this protocol, I thought it only fair that I man one of the doors. As president, I don't have as much day-to-day interaction with students. I saw this as a unique opportunity in what was also my sophomore year to get to know all of you a little better. I took the liberty of assigning myself to the Alex Gallery doors right over there, because that's where I knew the class of 23 was assigned to, and as we all know, you're the best class in the building, just don't tell any of the other classes I said that. In taking your temperatures each day, each morning during the 2021 academic year, I learned a little bit about all of you, all 126. True, we were both behind face masks, but over time, your habits, your patterns, what you brought to the school, your body language, all of these observable phenomena told me a number of things about you. Just a few examples. Oof. Faith Crosby, owner of the best face masks, bedazzled, striped. Faith really helped break up the monotony of a sea of surgical blue and KN90 white. Tyler Parks, poet laureate of Holy Cross and owner of the coolest Air Jordan backpack. There was also what I affectionately remember as the clown car, a small sedan pulling up each morning right over there, bursting open its overcrowded contents of Josh Holland, Tommy Legee, and Zach Morales. Book bags, gym bags, lacrosse sticks flying everywhere. The Holland water jug didn't appear on the scene, I think, until a little bit later. Showing the incredible can-do attitude of this class that has already been spoken of, there were so many of you, really too many to name here, who had a smile that no face mask could hide. That was a nice way for me as the president to start my day. Honestly, I have to say there was only one student among you who routinely showed up with a scowl and a foul mood and stayed that way all day. Cecilia, we all hope you will learn to smile and cheer up just a little bit. There were wonderfully predictable things. I knew when Michigan Telesford was pulling in because her dog Audi would start announcing her arrival on the horn well before she got there. We have many artists and athletes in this class carrying their tools of their trade, their tennis rackets, their softball, baseball bats, their footballs. And then there was Maya Zaccanini. Basketball season came around and here she would come hobbling into that door over there like Willis Reed in Game 7, letting me know it was another tough victory the night previous. That's Willis Reed, Game 7, Knicks Lakers. Look it up, kids, it's important. I could go on, but I'll stop there. These are just a sample of the things that I got to know about you, the class of 23, individually and collectively. All I want to point out to you, though, is that what started out as a health and safety protocol became, at least for me, one of the most important lessons I hope you take away from Holy Cross. The ability to take another person's temperature is very important. It's important in family, in settings like school, on teams. It will be important in your careers. Taking another's temperature, getting a read on how they're doing, is what we call emotional intelligence. It is an effort to observe, to listen, to use your God-given talents, to understand another person. Not simply to get a readout, but in order to be ready to do something based on your reading. It may be to extend a hand, a nod of the head, an embrace, a hug, an offer of assistance, or maybe it's just to be quiet and listen to them. To be present, because trust me when I tell you that one of our greatest failings as a species may be our inability to get a read on each other, to listen, to understand, to get context, to put ourselves in another's shoes before passing judgment or discounting who they are. So you gave me a great lesson back there in your sophomore year with this thermometer in hand. And now I return the lesson back to all of you. Let's equally commit to learn how to take another's temperature. It can perhaps be the most compassionate, most loving, most Holy Cross thing any one of us can do for another. And as for this thermometer, I'll be perfectly honest, it was not always the most reliable tool. Some of you came in at a chilly digital read of around 66 degrees. Clinically, you were dead, but for our purposes, you were fever-free, so come on in. And most importantly, always feel welcome here at Holy Cross High School. This is your home. It is the class of 1973's home, and I congratulate all of you. Ave Cru, Spes Unica. Congratulations, class of 2023. It is now, as we get to the business at hand, it is now my pleasure to present the Golden Diploma. This diploma is offered to the class of 1973. It will be accepted by their designate, their valedictorian, Dr. John Wisniewski of the class of 73. As Dr. Wisniewski approaches, I will read the diploma. Dr. John Wisniewski, a class member of the class of 73, the first class to graduate from Holy Cross High School, actually that's not true, it's the second class, is awarded this Golden Anniversary Diploma and is entitled to all the honors and privileges belonging thereto, in witness whereof my signature is hereunto affixed this 4th day of June 2023. Congratulations, Dr. Wisniewski. Congratulations, class of 1970.
Thank you very much. Distinguished faculty and friends, alumni, especially my fellow alumni from class of 73. On behalf of the class of 1973, I would like to congratulate you on your achievements in your graduation today from Holy Cross High School. I've had the honor over the past few days to catch up with my fellow classmates, many of whom I have not seen in 50 years. We followed our own journeys, our passions. We served in the military. We ran our businesses. We became lawyers, accountants, CPAs. We became financial consultants. And we became physicians like myself. Even though we all went our separate ways, what we shared in common is that we were lucky enough to have received a tremendous education here at Holy Cross High School. We are evidence that Holy Cross has prepared you graduates for the next phase of your life, not only academically, but spiritually. Tonight, I would encourage all you graduates to thank your parents and guardians who had the foresight and the wisdom to send you to this great school. As you go forward, you will appreciate the great, tremendous education which you have had at this remarkable institution. Couple things. Number one, I encourage all of you to follow your own paths in the future. You'll be surprised what amazing things you will do and where it will take you. Also, remember the friends you made here, the teachers who were wonderful to you here. But there's one last thing. We are all graduates of Holy Cross High School. It's your responsibility now to carry on the noble legacy that tradition has been brought forth. And for that, continue to be men and women of scholarship and men and women of faith. God bless you all. Thank you.
The formality now. By the power invested in me as president of Holy Cross High School, and by the authority granted to me by the Board of Directors in accordance with the standards of certification for the state of Connecticut and with full accreditation status of the New England Association of Schools and Colleges, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to bestow upon the class of 2023 the diploma of graduation from Holy Cross High School and award all rights and privileges that this diploma bears. I would ask that other members of the administration now assist me in these presentations.
Come on, Wind. I thought God was on our side. Just kidding, Monsignor. He is. Just felt that come this way. I would ask out of courtesy to all graduates, listen carefully. We expect our graduates to listen carefully. I expect the families to as well. Out of courtesy to all graduates, we ask that you hold your applause. That includes woohooing and screaming until the last graduate is announced. Class of 23, first row, come on up. Jacob Jose Soares Almeida. Alec Joseph Ash. Reese Emily Becker. Tajay K. Bennett. Zach Blaschke. Kaya Scott Bondarenko. Madison Brash. Garrett Ferrara Brown. Rayanna Burns. Eliana Marina Capabianco. Madison Emma Capozzi. She graduates with highest distinction. Hemang Lee Carlson. Salvatore Michael Caruso. Jenna Cavallo. Jenna graduates with high distinction. Ryan Daniel Champy. Nicholas L. Codiani. Sunji Kramer. Jordan Nicole Cronin. Faith Crosby. Faith graduates with high distinction. Joseph Anthony Dane. Juliana Michelle Dane. Joseph Daniels. Okay. Sorry, the wind got in the way here a little bit. Anyone have a good joke or? I don't remember that one. Why was the report card wet? Come on, the people at Role Model didn't know the answer. It was below sea level. All right. Okay. Back to our regular programming. Sebastian De Silva. Sebastian graduates with high distinction. Ryan Anthony DeTillo. Richard Julian De La Cruz.
I made it!
Riley Ann Del Priori. Misa Nalani D'Souza. Robert Matthew D'Souza. Angelo Feliciano Di Giancarlo. Nathan L. Di Matteo. Nathan graduates with highest distinction. John D'Augustine. Dren De Bruna. Caden L. Dunn. David Joshua Eaton. Jamie Ertman. Anthony Favalli. Zachary Michael Ferguson. Dylan Fernandez. Leo Egidio Fiore. Duran Markel Fordham. Kaylee Frennis. Nate Davis Gabriel. Sergio Gilles Guerre Guzman. Peter John Gauthier Jr. Peter graduates with distinction. Ava Sophia Genevieve. William Francis Gillette IV. Seth Glinsky. Cameron Nicole Gomes. Bethany Ambrosia Gonzalez. Bethany graduates with distinction. Haley Gonzalez. Kaylin Gorman. Jiling Guo graduates in absentia. Shay Megan Harris. Priest Hepson. Chastity Adrian Hicks. Angela Ho. Joshua M. Holland. Joshua graduates with high distinction. Malachi Matthias Horton. Jaden Olivia Izzy. Jaden graduates with distinction. David Day J. Kaprisky. Prince Freedom Kendrick. Lei Vu Kim Nagan graduates in absentia. Alexander Leon Lee. Alexander graduates with distinction. Lang Lei. Thomas James Leegee. Christina Jacinta Ligori. Hannah Nicole Lima. Arby Lindraku. Tegan G. Linhart. Carly Grace Lombardo. Kendall Maisto. Ella Sophia Mancini. Ava Mariano. Kevin Matisse. Declan James McGrath. Tyra Elizabeth McCoy. Tyler Theodore Mike. Cecilia Anastasia Moisen. Cecilia graduates with distinction. Zach Morales. Good. Peyton Mullins. Destiny Marie Muniz. Fiona Grace Murphy. Kendall S. Murray. Kendall graduates with highest distinction. Sydney Murray. Jada Christine Myrtle. Leonardo Joseph Nargi. Remigio Philip Nargi. Lisa Franchette Nagandu. Nguyen Huang Jia graduates in absentia. Nguyen Vu Kim Nagan. Victoria Lee Abina Odankor. Victoria graduates with highest distinction. Rocco James Palladino. Alessia Faith Pandisha. Tyler Christopher Parks. Gabriela Alexandra Perez. Gianna Sophia Petrokaitis. Ava Lynn Richter. Jayla E. Rivera. Edwin Alonzo Roberts. Jokes because you guys were not great the last one. I have another, but I'm not using it. All right. Why did the iPad dentist? Because it had Bluetooth. After graduation, we're going to have a polite laughing class, so all of you better attend. Do a dance, do a dance. Hit the gritty. Can I proceed? Excellent. Elena Josephine Roberts. Elena graduates with high distinction. Alex Rodriguez, Jr. Nicholas Ignacio Rosales. Neil Rosen. Ryan L. Ruby. Marco Gianni Regia. Dustin Cameron Sanasi. Cameron Santiago. Sarah Ann Shanine. Paul Daniel Chavone. Donald Frank Shivas. Ryan Shagru Kirby. Dario Sosa. Noah Benjamin Spader. Mishka Lois Telesford. Mishka graduates with highest distinction. Tyler Tenor. Jenna Marie Tracy. Jenna graduates with highest distinction. Evan Christopher Tutino. Justin E. Vale. Tao Martin Way. Ava Grace Wheeler. Aaron Witkowski. Madeline Elizabeth Wright. Majun Ji. Chenhao Yang. Gianna M. Yanantono. Maya G. Zaccanini. Joseph Daniels. And at this time, we'd like Evelyn to come to the stage. Aileen Marie Maldonado. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Let's tell another joke. Take a look at your diplomas, let it all sink in. Take a minute. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Thomas Pompey, principal of Holy Cross High School, to give his congratulatory address.
Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everybody on this beautiful December morning. Class of 73, thank you for being here with us. To my outstanding faculty, and to all the families, and of course the class of 23, congratulations and welcome. To anyone who's here that still has students in the building, I want to assure you that most of my decisions are better than the one to have this out here today. And but I want to welcome everyone. To the class of 2023, you have the distinction, or perhaps the grand misfortune, of being my and Dr. Pellegrino's first graduating class. As we all started together in 2019, which really started off beautifully until mid-Marchish, at which time we adjourned to a remote educational setting for a couple of months. In the fall of sophomore year, we returned to a hybrid learning model where you spend half of your year in the Alex Family Gallery DLC, which you complained a lot about, but honestly you owe me because you were the only ones with air conditioning and natural light, so you're welcome. Junior year may have been the hardest of them all as we emerged from the madness and tried to rediscover our normal rhythms in socialization, habits of work, and learning methods. And then this year was upon us as the first sort of typical year together, when all you had to do was figure out where you wanted to go to college and what you might do with the rest of your life. And through these years, when so many secondary schools nationwide have been immersed in their own quiet versions of reconstruction, with tremendously daunting deficit scores in reading and math and growing concerns of apathy and social and emotional struggles in their students, I'd ask you to bear with me for a moment, especially our teachers who have already heard this. But all our kids did in that time was the following: Dartmouth College, University of Notre Dame, Bucknell, Northeastern, Air Force Academy, 2 to Worcester Polytech, Providence, Vassar, Penn State, 7 to UConn, Colorado Boulder, Fairfield, 3 students, University of California, Davis, Syracuse, Bentley, 3 to St. John's University, University of Alabama, Seton Hall, 3 to Quinnipiac, Iona, University of Minnesota, University of Cincinnati, 2 to Stonehill, University of Rhode Island, University of Massachusetts, University of Illinois, University of South Carolina, Roger Williams, the Fashion Institute of Technology, Ringling College of Art and Design, 3 to Sacred Heart University, 22 different kids to New Haven, Southern, Central, U-Heart, Post, St. Joe's, 9 to Naugatuck Valley, 1 to the Marines, and to throw just a little icing on the cake, 1 pro soccer player. Our kids have been pretty busy and pretty successful. And 5 state titles, 15 NVL titles, in a class of 126, 4 Division I athletic scholarships, numerous accolades and awards, including halos for our performing and visual arts program. I'm tremendously proud of all of you, to the families that have supported your efforts and your passions, and to my teachers who made all this possible for us. That's a matriculation list and a set of accolades that is worthy of the highest praise in the very best of times. But given your circumstances, it is truly remarkable, class of 23. Beyond that list is the spirit of service that you carried through a time of great isolation, the mantle of hopefulness and devotion to our school's spirit that you never wavered on, the values of our school family and community like kindness, cooperation, and love that you embraced and embodied like nothing could deter you. Bereft of hyperbole in many ways, history seems very likely to remember the class of 23 as one of the most important in our school's long and proud legacy. Parents and families, 3 years ago, we conveyed the portrait of the Crusader as our covenant to you for your children. Here before us sits a group of young men and women who have demonstrated grit, problem solving, innovation, self-advocacy, kindness, respect, compassion, and sacrifice in the face of real life adversity. I ask you humbly on behalf of that exceptionally talented and devoted tribe of educators sitting to my left to please consider our oath to you fulfilled. I stand before you today immeasurably proud and honored to have thrived as a school through the challenges of the recent past, and in large part because of all of you, the torchbearers of the Holy Cross Way that Father Moreau conceived so many years ago. Perhaps most importantly, to all parents and families, I thank you for sharing your children with me and us for the last 4 years. Beyond my 3 children, granddaughter, and wife, you all are the source of my greatest joy and fulfillment. To the young men of the women of the class of 23, those seated in front of me, and one extraordinary angel dancing and watching over us, I am grateful beyond words to have been a part of your life. Thank you for leaving Holy Cross better than the way you found it. And thank you for being an unflappable source of hope and faith for the future hearts and minds who will care for God's beautiful world. May God bless you all, and may God long bless Holy Cross High School.
I thought I was the sap of the group. The Valedictorian Award is presented to the senior who has maintained the highest grade point average during her 4 years at Holy Cross. This year, the award was presented to Mishka Telesford. Mishka, please rise as we congratulate you on your many accomplishments. The Salutatorian Award is presented annually to the senior who has maintained the second highest grade point average during her 4 years at Holy Cross. The recipient for the class of 2023 is Jenna Tracy. Jenna, please rise. The Monsignor Flanagan Award is presented annually to the most improved female student from freshman to senior year. Our recipient this year is Jada Myrthel. Jada, please rise. Give a wave, girl, you earned it. The Holy Cross Mothers Club Award is presented to the male student who has improved the most from his freshman to his senior year. The award is presented this year to Sergio Gary. I forgot to mention, these awards were given last evening at Mass, just in case you were like, oh boy, there it is. Anyways, get back to the script, Kate. Each year, there are 2 very special awards presented to members of the graduating class. The Sister Margaret Bannon CND Service Award and the Holy Cross Fathers Club Service Awards are presented annually to the boy and girl who, by recommendation of the faculty and staff and administration, best exemplify the ideals of service to the school community. Sister Bannon worked for many years at Waterbury Catholic High School. In celebration of her services to that school, the faculty of Waterbury Catholic High School began the award. Holy Cross has continued to present the award to a deserving senior girl. The Sister Margaret Bannon CND Service Award was presented to Cecilia Moisen. Cecilia, please stand. There, hold on. The Fathers Club Award comes from a tradition in the Brother School of recognizing the service of a senior boy. The basis for this award is service and service to a broad spectrum of the school community as possible. It goes to the individual for whom Holy Cross has gone beyond taking from to giving to, and giving with their whole heart. The Holy Cross Fathers Club Service Award is presented to Joshua Holland. Josh, come forward to get your award. We put out a green carpet for you. Congrats, Josh. The valedictorian of the class of 2023, who will attend Dartmouth College, is Mishka Telesford. I would now ask Mishka to please come forward to give your closing remarks.
It is truly an honor to be addressing family, friends, administration, board members, faculty, and staff on this Sunday. Most importantly, I'm honored to be addressing my fellow class of 2023. Out in this crowd is a stunning sea of beaming faces, all clad in green and gold caps and gowns, ready to get out of here. Believe me, they are ready to graduate. So I will try my best not to keep us here for very long. Holy Cross is a second home to me. No, literally. There have been days where I spent more time here than in my own house. However, in all seriousness, I dare stretch that title of second home beyond myself and onto all of us. We have all lived and breathed the halls of Holy Cross. Together, we have rode the highs of numerous triumphs in sports and suffered the tribulations of a pandemic and the death of a beloved classmate. We have learned so many lessons here, ranging from bioethics, thanks Mr. Beatic, to the physiology of the stock market. Yet, as important as they most definitely were, I would not say that those lessons were the most valuable. Rather, I argue it is the non-academic, worldly lessons we obtain that possess the most worth, such as thus, that words matter. The words we emit as people of this earth have an impact. They have gravity. We, as a collective, have the power to hurt, hate, and destroy, all by the swift movement of our mouths. This world is no stranger to hatred and violence, destruction and death. We, as crusaders, are obligated to be better than that. Just as we can choose to hate, we have the choice to heal, love, and build. That is what we must choose, and choose it genuinely. I will not pretend as though this choice is always easy. It is not. In those moments where we falter and succumb to hurtful temptations, it is imperative that we all acknowledge our failures and, more importantly, do better in the future. That lesson, that which is not explicitly acknowledged in our diploma, is what we are especially compelled to take with us from Holy Cross. Beyond the moral platitude, I implore that you all continue to be your most authentic, best selves. In that, I wish and pray for you all to have utmost success in any and all endeavors that extend beyond this brick building. You most definitely will flourish and thrive in any of the environments that you choose. But, my fellow graduates, I want you to look at the colors of your gowns that you're wearing right now. Stare intently at them. Those colors will course through your veins for life. We will always be connected to one another by virtue of those very colors. Once a crusader, always a crusader. Thank you.
Thank you, Mishka. Wonderful job. I would now ask Monsignor Ginty to come and read our closing benediction.
A few months ago at one of the board meetings, they gave us the agenda, and on the printed agenda it was the problems with A1. And I was thinking, what does Mr. Pompey have against steak sauce? And but in reality, I was just showing my age because I hadn't heard anything about AI before. And then when Ms. Zeller today said to me, "You are doing the closing prayer, aren't you?" I said, "I don't have anything prepared. I wish I had AI to be able to give me something." But the truth of it is, today I just speak from my heart as an alumnus of the class of 1976. We were the first class in 1975. We welcomed, maybe that welcome isn't the word, but the girls up from Waterbury Catholic High School. So my senior class was the first co-ed class of Holy Cross High School. And it was really interesting because not only were we trying to get adjusted, but some of the brothers had never seen a girl before. and some of the nuns had never seen a boy before. So just sitting back and looking at all that was really rather something to behold. And 47 years later, here I am, the class of 73. They're here today, and again, as we just heard from that wonderful talk by the valedictorian, Holy Cross, the green and gold are always going through our blood. As a priest of 38 years, I have the opportunity, the privilege many times of baptizing babies. And I always wonder, as I see the baby being held in the arms of his mother or father or godmother or godfather, what does God have in store for this little child of God? What roads will they have to travel? What obstacles will they have to overcome? How many years will they live? How many lives will they influence? How many hats will they wear? And certainly those questions can only be answered by God himself at that time. But I truly believe that if we take our baptism commitment seriously, then God does begin to reveal to different people at different times and in different ways, why are we here? Why did he create us? What could he possibly have in mind? And certainly at your age today, you certainly have a lot of dreams and a lot of hopes and a lot of desires in your life. And I can remember 47 years ago, knowing that I was going to enter the seminary the following that September. And then 9 years later, 9 years of college later, I laid on the floor right in the Cathedral of St. Joseph in front of the same bishop that gave me my diploma here. This first time I ever met Archbishop Whalen was at Holy Cross at my graduation. And he ordained me 9 years later as a priest. And I remember laying on the floor during the Litany of the Saints saying, okay, I put all this work into this, I put all these grades into this, I sacrificed much and went to school in Buffalo, went to school in Emmitsburg, Maryland, and all this, it's all yours now. Because I don't know what's next. And I'm sure a lot of you are saying the same thing. I don't know what's next. Trust in God, and he'll get you through it. And he'll not only get you through it, he'll help you to excel. And may God bless you all today. Now, Ms. Zeller gave me her AI rendition, but I'm just going to ask God to bless you. Merciful God, we gather today to celebrate the class of 2023. We also acknowledge with great distinction the class of 1973, celebrating their golden anniversary. We ask God to bless all of us as we continue to live good and holy lives and become, as Archbishop Cronin reminded us last night at the Baccalaureate Mass, missionaries for Christ. May God bless you.
This was not religious enough. I gotta take that off. I don't want any, I got nothing to do with that. All right. Well, this concludes our 2023 graduation exercises. Congratulations, class of 2023.